Hello friends, welcome back. It's Heather with Belle's Library. I am here to bring my Gilmore Girls Readathon TBR. I love the Gilmore Girls. I'm super excited to be participating in this readathon, and I'm hoping it'll get me going with some reading now that school has kind of tapered out a little bit for me. So very excited about that. If you guys are new here, definitely get down below and subscribe, and everybody like, and let's talk Gilmore Girls. So I realistically am reading maybe 2, maybe 3 books in a week at this point. I'm still not like reading a ton. I know that's still a good chunk, but most of these prompts I'm going to be kind of clumping it together, and I've got like 2 books on this TBR. But we're going to go through the prompts and talk about them and all that good stuff. And otherwise, this should be a pretty short and sweet video. So prompt number 1 is to read a book that's set in a small town. So obviously, Gilmore Girls, we are set in Stars Hollow, which is the cutest little small town ever. So I have decided I'm going to read Sirius Moonlight. This is a book about a girl, let's see, what's her name? Birdie, and she loves mystery novels, and she starts working at this hotel in Seattle. I know, not a small town, but I'm hoping she lives in a small town. Some of these prompts we're gonna play around with a little bit, because it kind of looks like she's in a cute little small town. Anyways, and she teams up with the hotel's, I believe, like valet or bus driver or something, and they are actually solving a mystery at the hotel. And so, I don't know, it just sounds really cute and fun, and we're gonna throw it into that prompt. We also are going to throw it into prompt number 3. This one is to read a book set in the fall or winter. And from the picture on the cover, I'm going to assume that this is in the fall or winter, because she's in a hoodie and they're in long sleeves, and it just looks like a cozy little fall or winter time cafe that they're at. So we're gonna hope that this is in the fall or winter. So let's go ahead and backtrack to prompt number 2. This is to read a book featuring a mother and daughter relationship, and I don't know that I'm going to have a book for this one. I'm kind of hoping that maybe this book will present one to me. But that one's kind of wide open at the moment. Obviously, we have some mother and daughter relationships between Rory and Lorelai, as well as Lorelai and Emily. And so, very different relationships, obviously, but a very huge part of the entire series. So my second book that I'm going to be reading for this readathon is going to cover 3 prompts, and starting with prompt number 4, this one is to read a book with complicated love interest. There's a lot of that in Gilmore Girls. So obviously Rory has a whole bunch of different love interests with Jess and Logan, and oh my gosh, so much going on there. We have Lorelai and Luke that gets kind of complicated. We got a lot of complicatedness going on. I'm going to throw in Reaper at the Gates, which is the 3rd book in the Ember in the Ashes quartet. Okay, sorry, interruptions. Anyways, A Reaper at the Gates is the 3rd installment in the Ember in the Ashes quartet, and this one has some complicated love interest between Elias and Laia, and Elias and Helene, and also at the end of A Torch Against the Night, which is the 2nd book, Elias is in kind of a odd predicament, which makes it even more complicated for him to be around either of the other 2 women. And so that's just kind of interesting and complicated and weird. So we'll see how that kind of goes. I also am going to use this book for prompt number 5, which is to read a book with either an Asian author or other Asian representation within the book. Saba Tahir is a Pakistani American. Pakistan is in Asia, so we are going to count that. This prompt is based on the fact that we have Lane, which is Rory's best friend, and she is of Asian descent, so we've got some good representation there. And then we're also going to use this one for prompt number 7. So this is to read the next book in a series that you haven't finished. And obviously I have not finished the series. I've read the first two. My third book is on the way. That's the one we're going to read. And then the fourth book is coming out in December, so very soon. So I'm glad to be catching up here so I can get the fourth book. I know I didn't really tell you very much about this series. It's hard because I am into the third book. I don't want to give things away, but it is a YA fantasy series about Elias, who was trained to be this soldier, and Laia, who's been oppressed and put down because she is a scholar, and they are, at the moment, the bottom rung of this society. And obviously things flip on their heads, and they're now working together in a lot of ways. And Helene is Elias's best friend and also a soldier, but she doesn't agree with what Elias is doing in a lot of ways. It's just a very interesting story that's very basic, and I'll try to go into a little bit better synopsis in my vlog for this readathon. For whatever reason, I have a hard time explaining the synopsis of this series, so it's just an awkward one for me. So the only prompt we haven't talked about is prompt number 6, and this one's actually not book reading related, but it is to bake a fun fall treat and watch a favorite episode of Gilmore Girls. I don't know if I have an exact favorite, so I'm sure I'll just be watching some of the show throughout my vlog, and I'll have to figure out some kind of fun fall treat to make, so you guys will have to come back for my Gilmore Girls vlog for that. But I hope you guys will participate in this fun readathon. Oh, I totally forgot to mention, but I was made aware of this readathon from Bookable's channel, and I will link her announcement video down below. I know there's a couple other creators as well, and she'll talk about them in her video. I can't totally remember. But she's a booktuber that I have watched for quite a while. She's one of the first booktubers that I found, and I really enjoy her content, so you guys might check her out and see how her Gilmore Girls readathon goes. But I will see you guys